up, everyone? Faith Family Grind, Jan Anthony here. Just want to say, what's up? Well, you know, as you guys know, more content is coming. So I asked around, hey, listen, what do you guys want to learn about? Or what do you guys are interested in knowing? Think about myself, what I carry, what I use daily. What I got most from everybody was, what's your everyday carry and how does it look? Well, I'm just gonna go into what I carry in terms of my gun first. I'll go into other detail with knives on a different video, but with that said, I wanna show you first that I do have a P365 in front of me. It's not loaded, there's no loads, and there's no rounds in the magazine. So there you have it. So let's go ahead and kind of go over this. This here is for me. Now, before I go into detail about the weapon, gun I use, I want you to know about a couple things first. This is my opinion on what I use. This is something that I'm comfortable with. This is something I train with. This is where when I take it with me, I'm the most confident with. And I share the details with you because I need you to understand that it's not about, okay, John Anthony or any of these other YouTube guys you listen to, they're using this gun, so this has to be the best gun for me. That is not true. For anyone who knows me, and when I was on my journey to decide to go ahead and carry, I went through so many different guns. And now, guys, you gotta understand, it's different when you're at the range and you're shooting all types of pistols, rifles. It's different because you're there shooting a target, you're giving that gun back because it's a rented gun, or maybe it is your gun, but you're not carrying that particular gun. Because when it comes to carrying, concealed carry, you have to figure out what holster you're gonna be using, why are you using that holster, what are the purposes of that day, what are you wearing that day? There's so many things involved. We just say, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and just carry this particular gun. It just doesn't work that way. And I have to share that with you because I want you to make some great decisions that are gonna protect you, but I also want you to understand what you're getting involved with. Guys, let me tell you this now. Go inside a classroom because you can ask questions. You're one-on-one with that instructor, with other people that are interested in carrying. And what's important about that is you could not only ask those questions, but other people around you are probably going to ask questions too. And you want to be prepared to listen because it might not be something you thought of. And some, they go a lot of through the self-defense situations, which consist of deadly force, which that's a whole different video. But I want you to do what I did. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not going to tell you the details of deadly force. I want you to go in and research it yourself so you understand it. For with that said, let's rock and roll now, guys. For me, I've done a lot of studies, and when I was going through my journey and picking out the gun I wanted to use, I went through so many compact guns because I'm probably a medium-sized type guy. So the type of weapon that you carry and you can still carry, you have to be comfortable with. Because if it's too big, you're just not gonna wanna do it. You're not gonna wanna wear it. You're gonna put it in the safe and you're not gonna conceal carry. And it's gonna be frustrating because the purpose of the concealed carry, of course, as you know, is protection for yourself. One of the popular guns that I found is, I love subcompact guns, striker fire guns. I work well with them. I just do really well, and I feel comfortable and I feel confident. But I also went to the range a lot, guys. I mean, I was in the range for about a year. And my wife would tell me, you go in the range so much. I said, well, if I'm gonna protect our family and I'm gonna protect myself when we're out there in the world and something was to happen, I wanna make sure I understand the gun that I'm using that's gonna save my life and our life, or anybody else that's with me, friend, family, whoever, and I wanna be able to know how to use it correctly and not just go and just start shooting off a gun and not knowing how to use it. So I went through every type of gun, and there were quite a bit of guns that I actually liked, but for me, this particular weapon stood out the most. and it's called the P365. It is the micro version of the P365 subcompact, and this beauty here is nice. And I can tell you, a lot of people always ask, what's that P stand for in front of P365? It's actually German, a pistole, that actually means pistol. Just for you guys, fun fact, in case you were curious what the P meant. But it's a P365. It's probably, for me, I researched it. There were a lot of different, just like any other guns that come out, and you hear a lot about SIG. You always want to, take a look at the guns when they first come out, practice with them. But, you've always heard, just don't go buy them right away because they get the kinks out. Make sure that if there's any issues with them, they normally follow up with how to correct them. And it took me a while to get this gun. P365, I believe, came out in 2018 is when it first came out. 2017 was when they designed it. But there were a couple of kinks here and there, but they figured them out. And one of the nice things about this particular P365 that I really like is there actually a safety on it. So depending if you're left or right-handed, you're good to go. That's one of the big things I like about the safety, knowing that this is your safety. Still, having that extra safety here with the round in the chamber does play a factor. Now, when this first gun came out, as you can see here, they came out with some 10 rounders. So, of course, having a 10 round pistol, that's always been the debate. How many rounds do I need to carry? That doesn't seem like it's a lot of rounds. As time goes on, you guys know with other P365s, all the way up to the macro, they came out with a 17 round, which I'm gonna get into. But these 10 rounds, when you purchase a gun, it comes with two 10 round magazines. As you guys know, I normally carry two magazines, one in the gun, and again, I carry one in my pocket, or depending what I'm wearing, I can have a magazine holster for it. I'm gonna place it in there. But I carry two, so total of 20 rounds. And normally, to be honest with you, I might have some extra rounds in my pocket just in case. Now, that's just what I do. It's whatever you wanna do, okay? Because at the end of the day, it's whatever makes you feel comfortable. In my head, I'm just thinking I never wanna run out of rounds. When I went to the range and I shot this gun, I felt pretty confident with it. Now, it's a subcompact. So what does that mean to you guys? And how does that affect you? Because people say, well, it's a gun. Well, it is a gun, but whenever you have a gun like this, they're called snappy guns. The purpose behind them is they're smaller. So when you shoot these guns, the recoil on them, you have them kind of jump up a little bit. You just got to get used to them if you decide you want to use a subcompact. It's not like a full-size gun is going to have that less recoil. These are going to have a little bit more recoil to them. But as you can see, this particular gun, which I like, I can actually put a sight on this gun. I chose not to do that right now because I want to get really good at iron sights. I want to shoot without a red dot, a green dot. Not saying that I don't like them, because some of my guns I do carry do have it on there. But for right now, on this particular gun here, I want to just go ahead and just practice with iron sights and to see how well I would do and how efficient this would be and how good I could be at hitting the target with it. And I can tell you, after times of practice, having a personal instructor with me, learning how to shoot with it, and you can see the X-ray sights on this particular gun. I can tell you now, it's really nice to have, easy to sight in, and because it's a striker fire, and when you shoot this particular gun, it's easier to get back on target. And again, that's my opinion. I've heard that from other guys that use these subcompacts too, but for me, it's easy for me to get back on target when I'm using this gun. One of the beautiful things about this particular gun, like I mentioned, is because it's for concealed carry, I use a Pegasus holster. There's gonna be many holsters out there. It's whatever you're comfortable with. Again, the Pegasus for me sits really well. I like the way it sits in the gun. For me, I could just, in the morning, I just pop it in here. As you can see here, throw it down, boom. You can see there's not an area. And I'm wearing a shirt that's pretty fitted to my body, and you can tell that it doesn't look like I have anything on me, and which is really cool, because again, there's certain places that you go to, and you want to make sure that your gun's just not protruding out your shirt and it looks crazy, and people are going to really be scared of you if that happened. Again, these are 10-round magazines that go in them. One of the best things that SIG did was, as you guys know, if you're a P365 person like I am, there's several different types, from XLs all the way to Spectra, all the way to Macro. And now the new P365 AXG Legion came out, and I will be purchasing that and bringing it to you guys. But it's nice, guys. But with that, let me show you the beauty of this. The Macro came out with 17 rounds for a magazine, and this was like the big thing, double stacked. Everyone got excited. Well, the cool thing for someone like me, when I have the 365 here, you're like, now I gotta go buy a Macro? Oh my goodness, right? You're thinking to yourself, I gotta go buy another gun. The magazine into the P365. Now, I have a P365 here that is ready to go, 17 rounds, and I feel pretty confident with it right now. You could carry your 10 round. The reason I carry the 10 round concealed, because when I have it, when I'm wearing this particular Pegasus holster, you don't see it coming out. If I put this with my Pegasus holster, I can still carry it, but the magazine's gonna poke out of my shirt, and I don't want that to happen. Now, when I'm wearing, it's the winter time, and I'm wearing something different with more clothes, jackets, I'm gonna have the 17 round there no matter what. That's just what's gonna happen. That's what I'm gonna do, and that's just the way it's gonna go down, okay? I encourage, if you are like me, the base plates, they come with them. You can exchange this particular base plate so it fits it perfect. I'm actually gonna purchase another one of these SIGs. Now, these SIG magazines, they're not cheap, they're about $50, but you know, it's worth the safety. I'd rather have two 17 rounds, magazines ready to go, in my 10 round, and I feel pretty confident that I got enough rounds to make it through whatever the situation I might be in. But again, it's up to you. But I like the fact that there are 17 rounds magazines that fit it, and a base plate that sits, as I mentioned earlier, right in. And I mean, all it does is extend. And what I like about this too is the grip that I get. If you look at the grip, it's a nice grip. So I got a good, firm grip on this particular gun. And when I shoot it, as you can see, I feel pretty confident about it. I don't feel like it's gonna be jerking on me. But again, I recommend a lot of how I experienced this is I went to the range, shot both of them. I wanted to get used to it with a 10 round, the 17 round, and then as time goes on, you start to practice how to just drop the magazine, put another magazine, feel pretty confident that you're doing that. I just love this gun because it's slim. I like having a slim gun that I can have, hold, and feel confident with, and it could go with me anywhere. I wear a lot of, every time you can tell, these particular shorts I wear here, I could fit it anywhere. If I'm in a situation where I'm wearing gym shorts and it doesn't feel weird. I was gonna mention this too though. We have an option here that if you don't want to use the holster and you want to use maybe a belly band, this particular band here, I got from, I believe it was a Glock store. But what's nice about it is you have your area that sits your gun right here, and it just sits around your waist area. And if you're like me who likes to run, you're able to utilize this, place your gun here, and I usually carry a magazine with me. But this is another great way if you like to work out, you want to go to the gym. And again, please, before walking any place, look at the signs around you. Make sure you're able to carry a gun. You don't want them to call the cops on you because you're carrying a gun into a place that you shouldn't have it. Just be cautious about that. But if you're a runner, you go to the park, men or young ladies, here, perfect example. This could carry up to different types of sizes of gun. It doesn't have to be a compact, but again, I carry my compact when I run. I feel pretty confident with it, or I go bike riding. Whatever I'm doing, I can utilize this, which I really like. So you have a couple options. Again, it's really up to you in terms of what holster you want to wear, where you want to conceal the gun at. That's going to be totally up to you, but it's a reliable gun. since I've had this gun, I've shot many rounds through it. I couldn't tell you how many, to be honest, but enough to feel confident with it. And to this point, I've had no issues with it, no concerns with it. And you know, again, I will share this one with you. If you're confident about carrying around in the chamber, the nice thing about this gun is you have a safety on here. Okay, there's many striker fire guns that don't have the safety, and this is your safety. The concern a lot of people have about that is they're worried that it's going to get snagged on something, or when you're pulling out the holster, something snags. Because a striker fire really is not going to ignite that primer until you pull this trigger all the way back, and that pin flies right through that primer. That is when that gun is going to go off, regardless what gun you have. And that's a striker fire. So again, you have to be cautious about all this. You know, too many people, they think they get overconfident. Always treat your guns. One thing I'll say to everybody, no matter who it is, always check your weapon. I don't care if you're going to go to cleaning it. I don't care if you're at the range. I don't care if you're about to give it to somebody. You double check that weapon to make sure it is secure. Never assume. Assume gets people hurt, including yourself, or accidental shootings that can be prevented if you always check your weapon. I've known people to say, no, my gun's good, no, and boom, it fires. And they had a magazine, and maybe there were no rounds in it, so they assume, give you an example, they assume they popped it off, no rounds good, boom, and then round goes off. Please don't be that person. Always, no matter who you're talking with, you're letting somebody touch a gun, or you're receiving a gun from somebody who wants to show you their gun. Always press check to make sure that there is not a round in the chamber for your safety and the people around you. I ask you to do that, please. Lastly, if you are going to be a concealed carrier, and this is no type of marketing to represent any kind of company out there, but there are several companies out there. I use Legal Shield, but I'm going to tell you now, guys, please carry a type of insurance with you if you plan to carry and conceal a weapon. And let me tell you why. If something was to happen, regardless your fault or not, and you could be in the right, there could be something civil come down on you, and if you research enough, you'll see enough people who didn't have some type of insurance, and meaning insurance mean like Legal Shield, call an attorney, have someone help you out in terms of if something was to happen, the attorney's right there by your side. They're instructing you on what to do, what to say, what not to say. It's so important. If you find yourself in a situation where you had to defend yourself, you need to know who to call and how they can help you, so you don't get caught up in a situation where you're going to jail with no representation and it can bankrupt you. Read the stories, watch the stories, YouTube the stories. There's many stories out there, so I'm telling you, be safe. With that, I appreciate you guys being with me today. I thank you for listening. I hope this content will help you. If there's anything else you guys want to know about, no matter what it is regarding concealed carry, and it could be anything. It could be the new wallet that just came out. It could be a new pen, whatever it may be, and you think you want to hear about it, know about it, and know if it works well, you know, put it in the comments, shoot me a PM. I would love to do some type of review on it. And as always, never lose focus.